Welcome to my reading circle. Today's book is Patrick Brockington's Fropplelee, illustrated by Scott Bradford. I met a gray old sailor who'd been long upon the sea, but vowed he'd never sail again. He'd seen all he could see. He said that in his traveling, few things filled him with glee, except for when he came upon the island Fropplelee. He told me of the Fropple folk who live so far away that we assume they don't exist. However, I can say that now I've heard a story I believe with all my heart, and if you'll believe it with me, turn the page and I will start. A Fropple is a creature that you'll find in no school books. Yes, if they were among us, they'd be sure to get some looks. They haven't any bodies, their heads are very round. If you wonder how they get about, they simply float around. But the reason that they're special, unique, one of a kind, is the fruits that sit upon their heads. Fruits are useful, keep in mind. Fruits are good for playing games like Froppy Ball or Froppy Rings. They are also good for picking fruit and lifting Froppy things. Every fruit is different in its color, shape, and size, as every Fropple's different from the young and greatly wise. There was one Fropple with a fruit, stranger than all the others, sprouting from cheeks and not his head. He was teased by all his brothers. This Fropple's name was Fleep. Fleep wondered why his cheeky fruit was different from the rest. His mother always told him it was surely for the best. Is there a time when I will know a good reason, Fleep thought, for looking so ridiculous while my Fropple friends do not? I'm rarely asked to Froppy Ball or any other game, but Fleep was still a good Fropple and happy all the same. Now in the center of the town, on the island Fropplelee, grew something quite spectacular, a monstrous fruit tree. At every meal the horn would sound, and round the tree they'd meet. The eldest Fropple said some words, then everyone would eat. In the evening when the sun was low, they'd float down to the beach, always singing cheerily, but out of water's reach. The ocean is a danger, known to each and every Fropple. Still happily they sat and watched, and awed at every ripple. Eventually they'd slumber, warmly nested in the sand, fondly dream of their friendships and glorious island. One night while they were dreaming, nice and cozy, snug and warm, there came a pleasant drizzle, but what followed was a storm. The Fropples weathered storms before, though nothing so intense. They held on to each other as the rain came in torrents. The Fropples feared their safety. They made for higher ground, and the shelter of the fruit tree. Imagine what they found. The tree had toppled over in the mighty gusts of wind. It had blown into the ocean, and the Fropples' hopes were thinned. The storm passed on by morning, but their food supply was gone. They searched the ground for fruit. The storm had left them none. Surely we'll starve, one Fropple yelled, without our fruity wealth. If only we had one piece left to plant and nurse to health. 'Twas the eldest Fropple, floated up for all to see, and raised his voice for to be heard all over Fropplelee. My darling Fropples, please don't fret, it's time to keep your head, while I tell you of Fropplelee, the ancient Fropple said. He spoke once of his special place that's deep inside the earth, but in order to get to it, one must swim for all he's worth. Down deep to where a secret cave exists beneath our land, it's filled with fruit seeds preserved in piles very grand. The Fropples were disheartened, not a single one can swim. The elder's gaze fell upon Fleep, then all eyes were on him. Dear Fleep, the elder said to him, you've never been a winner, though I am sure those fruity cheeks make you a first-rate swimmer. I think this is your purpose, and it's still your choice to make. Fleep, you can save the Fropples if this task you undertake. Fleep didn't think it possible for him to save them all. He never even scored a point while playing Froopy Ball. My fellow Fropples, I know nothing of the ocean's deep. I'm just a little Fropple with a funny fruit, said Fleep. And all at once the Fropples knew exactly what to do. Then bowing Froops in unison said, "We believe in you." From somewhere deep inside himself, Fleep felt his courage grow. He looked out at his people and said, "Fropples, I will go." The eldest Fropple brought Fleep to the beach where he should dive. His mother hugged him warmly and cried, "Please come back alive." Fleep took a breath and dove straight into crystal clear blue water. To his surprise, he found that he could swim just like an otter. Excited by his talent, thinking of the lives he'd saved, Fleep sped down even faster, and at once he saw the cave. He swam into the cavern, and amidst the ocean weeds, he was utterly delighted by 1,000,000 fruit seeds. The Fropples on the surface were quite worried, and they feared that they sent Fleep to a watery doom. But just then he appeared. He burst out of the water, throwing seeds into the air. Before the Fropples blinked their eyes, the fruit trees were there. A grove of trees then sprung right up with fruit for everyone. They named it Cheek Woods after what the mighty Fleep had done. They cheered his name, Fleep, Fleep, hooray, and handed him some fruit. The elders spoke, Fleep took a bite, and the Fropples followed suit. Fleep started teaching others how to swim out in the sea. He is well respected to this day on the island, Fropplelee.